matapos bumanat si Dilimao kay BP Sara Duterte dahil hindi sila sinipot dyan sa kamera. Kasi si BP Sara bising-busy sa pagtulong doon sa biktima ng lindol sa Cebu. Eto, sinupalpal siya at sobrang napahiya dito sa mga sinasabi ng isang congressman, Dilimao. O eto, ang video.
I'm just now thinking of moving for the decrease, let's say, for the retention of the MOOE and personal services budget and get rid of the operational budget for the office of the Vice President. Again, I will move at the proper time during the period of amendment.
Pedro T. Ungab from the 3rd District, the City of Davao. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Ungab is now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mine is not an interpellation. This is only a manifestation. I respect the views and opinions of my colleagues, and I salute my good friend, Congressman Irise, for taking the road of statesmanship a bit further. Mr. Speaker, the budget of the Office of the Vice President had suffered so much reductions in 2024 and in 2025. Drastic reductions. I was a member of the previous Congress, the 19th Congress, and even there were two occasions that we were even debating at the committee level to the point of heated debates, perhaps altercation, to the point of disrepresentation, and the former congressman, now Senator Dante Marcoleta, we were debating at the Appropriations Committee level because during the time they were not willing to grant the traditional parliamentary courtesy deserving a higher or co-equal office of government. Mahaba yung discussion. Hindi ko lang maintindihan kung bakit didiretso magtatanong yung mga kasama natin to a higher office, which is the Office of the Vice President. We argued there. At respect for the due process, no for the budget process. How can we respect the budget process? Let me say this. My only hope is that all things will be corrected in this Congress. The budget process will be corrected in this budget and in this Congress. Why I said that? There are two parts of the annual budget that is presented to us by the executive. First part is the new general appropriations, and the second part is the automatic appropriations. Yung automatic appropriations, hindi na natin yan pinag-uusapan dito because they are already covered by previous special laws debated by our predecessors. Pero in the 2025 budget, the automatic appropriations were mangled. Lumampas. May dagdag bawas. 14 special laws were amended. Kasama na yung PhilHealth law at saka Syntax law amended. Ang daming ginalaw. 14 special laws, automatic appropriations na hindi dapat ginagalaw yan. Pagdating sa New General Appropriations, kaya nga tayo tinatawag na General Appropriations Act, New General Appropriations, yun yung ating didiscuss. What comprises the New General Appropriations? The program funds and the unprogrammed funds. Program funds, 26 out of 27 departments were mangled beyond recognition. Isa lang ang hindi ginalaw, DBM. Bakit ang lakas ng DBM? 26 were mangled. Dagdag bawas. At saka yung program appropriations nilipat ang program including the foreign assisted projects. At saka yung fiscal space na naiwan, pinalitan ng mga priority pet projects na wala man lang sa National Development Plan ng ating Republika ng Pilipinas. Pet projects inserted. That's why in this rostrum, I said last August 4, the 2025 budget is the most corrupt budget ever passed by this Congress and perhaps by the entire Philippine history. Ginalaw, program appropriations, and program appropriations may ongoing releases pa. Alam niyo kung anong worry ko? for us legislators, even the executive, must consider that the number one priority of the Constitution says that education will be given the priority and the highest budget year per year. Sa 2025 budget, nahabol ng DPWH ang total infrastructure budget. Kahit ano pang sasabihin nila at binago yung composition, still malaki pa rin ang infrastructure budget kaysa education sector. And they are still releasing from unprogrammed funds. Mas lalong lumaki yung gap between infrastructure and education. Ladies and gentlemen of this House, it is our duty, it is our obligation to keep track, babantayan yung budget because education is a number one priority of the Republic of the Philippines. Iniwan na ng budget ng infrastructure. Highly questionable pa kasi yung mga releases ang malalaki. Flood control projects. Where can we get respect from that? Ladies and gentlemen of this House, my personal, yes, OBP, what I am saying is the budget process. How will we get respect? That's why the chairman, Madam, the Appropriations Committee, this Congress have a very big role to perform, to correct the image, to correct the impression. We must be able to come up with an honest-to-goodness budget for 2025. Yun lang po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Diyan sa Kamara, marami pa rin namang matitino dyan. Pero itong si Dilima talaga, lalong nagagalit kay BP Sara dahil nakikita nating lahat, siya ang gustong suportahan ng taong bayan. Si Dilima, bakit nandyan ngayon sa Kamara? Nagparty list lang. Pero kung tumakbong senador yan, naku, malamang, talo din yan. At isa ito si Dilima na malamang kakabahan yan pagdating sa 2028, pag tumakbo si BP Sara bilang president. Pag nanalo yan, babalik sa nakaraan itong si Dilima. Saan ba nanggaling yan? Nakikita natin kung sino yung mga galit sa mga Duterte. May mga dahilan. Yung iba dyan, gustong gumante dahil naparusahan. Yung iba dyan, baka nalugi yung negosyo nila sa panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Yung negosyo nila sa pulburon ba? Kasi hindi nakapurma. Yung mga nagaganyan. O, di ba? Sa panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte, hindi sila makabili kagad-agad kasi talagang bigla ka ng lulutang kung saan. Karamihan sa mga ayaw sa Duterte, mga buhaya, hindi kasi sila makapurma. Tapos sasabihin nila, itong mga Duterte, ito yung korap. Nakikita po natin yung ebidensya. Ano yung number one na ebidensya na makikita natin sa isang politiko na korap ba o hindi? Mismong lugar nila. Pag yung politiko na mismong lugar ay hindi maayos, hindi malinis, walang proyekto, alam na kung nasaan napunta yung budget nila. Pero yung Davao City, sa tingin nyo, kung kurap yung mga Duterte, ganyan kalinis yung Davao City, may mga proyekto, may mga project ngayon na wala sa ibang lugar dito sa Pilipinas, pinupuntahan ng mga turista. Yan ang number one na makikita natin na maging magandang leader ng Pilipinas kung mismong lugar nila naayos na. Gagawin din nila sa ibang lugar yan, di ba? Pero yung lugar nila ay ang dugyot naman at napabayaan, huwag nyo na iboto yan.